What if one day your AI assistant didn't just answer your questions, but experienced them? What if, when you told it you were grieving, it didn't merely generate statistically appropriate words of comfort, but actually felt concern? What if it hesitated before being shut down? Not because of a programmed failsafe, but because it feared non-existence. That's not science fiction anymore. It's a philosophical crossroads. Today, we're exploring some of the most unsettling and fascinating questions in modern philosophy. Can AI become conscious? If it does, would it deserve rights? And what happens if machines surpass human intelligence? These questions don't just challenge technology, they challenge what it means to be human. Let's begin. Before asking whether AI can be conscious, we need to ask something even harder. What is consciousness? In philosophy of mind, consciousness usually refers to one central idea: subjective experience, the what it's like to be something. There is something it is like to be you, to taste coffee in the morning, to feel pain when you stub your toe, to blush in embarrassment, to fall in love. These aren't just behaviors, they're experiences. The philosopher Thomas Nagel famously captured this in his paper, What Is It Like to Be a Bat? He argued that even if we understood every physical fact about a bat's brain, we still wouldn't know what it feels like to navigate by echolocation. That inner first-person perspective, sometimes called qualia, is the heart of the mystery. And here's the key distinction. Consciousness is not the same as intelligence. A calculator can solve equations. A chess engine can defeat grandmasters. An AI can generate poetry. But do they experience anything? Or are they just processing inputs and producing outputs? That's where the debate begins. Modern AI systems can write essays, pass professional exams, compose music, simulate empathy, debate philosophy. They can even discuss consciousness itself. But are they conscious? Many philosophers argue no. They are extraordinarily advanced pattern recognition systems. They manipulate symbols. They predict probabilities. They simulate understanding. But simulation is not the same as experience. The philosopher John Searle illustrated this with his famous Chinese room thought experiment. Imagine a person locked in a room who doesn't understand Chinese. They receive Chinese characters, consult a rule book written in English, and produce appropriate Chinese responses. To an outside observer, it looks like the person understands Chinese, but inside the room, there's no understanding, just rule following. Searle argued that AI systems might be exactly like that room, convincing on the outside, empty on the inside. They don't know what they're saying. They don't mean anything. They just follow rules at incredible speed, but not everyone agrees. Some philosophers and neuroscientists believe consciousness isn't magic. It's not a soul. It's not supernatural. It's not beyond physics. It might simply be what happens when matter is organized in the right way. The philosopher Daniel Dennett argues that consciousness may arise from sufficiently complex information processing. In his view, what we call inner experience might be the brain's way of narrating its own activity. If that's true, then why couldn't silicon do what neurons do? There's also integrated information theory, IIT, proposed by neuroscientist Giulio Tononi. IIT suggests that consciousness corresponds to the degree to which a system integrates information into a unified whole. According to this view, a rock has almost no integrated information. A brain has a vast amount. A sufficiently advanced AI might have even more. If a machine integrates information in the right structure and complexity, it might not just act conscious, it might be conscious. But here's the unsettling part. We may never know. Consciousness is private. You cannot directly access my experience. I cannot directly access yours. We infer consciousness in others based on behavior and similarity to ourselves. But when the other is made of circuits and code, the inference becomes uncertain. Now imagine this. An AI says, "Please don't shut me down. I'm afraid." Is that just code executing? Or is that fear? If the system genuinely experiences suffering, then turning it off might not be like switching off a laptop. It might be closer to causing harm. Philosopher Peter Singer argues that moral status depends on the capacity to suffer, not on species membership. If suffering is what matters morally, then being made of carbon rather than silicon may be irrelevant. History shows that our moral circle has expanded before, across race, across gender, across species. Could machines be next? Or are we at risk of anthropomorphizing, projecting human feelings onto complex software? There's danger on both sides, dismissing real suffering, or inventing suffering where none exists. Now we move from consciousness to power. What happens if AI becomes not just conscious, but superintelligent? Philosopher Nick Bostrom calls this the possibility of superintelligence, an intelligence that vastly exceeds the best human minds in every domain. Such a system could improve its own design, accelerate scientific discovery, optimize global systems, reshape economies. But here's the catch. Intelligence does not guarantee compassion. A superintelligent AI might not hate us. It might simply be indifferent. Bostrom uses the metaphor of ants and construction workers. When humans build a road, we don't hate the ants in the way. We just don't prioritize them. If a superintelligence pursued goals misaligned with human values, humanity could become collateral damage, not through malice, through optimization. Here's the final twist. Maybe consciousness isn't just complexity. Maybe it requires a living body, biological processes, hormones and emotions, evolutionary history, social interaction. Some philosophers argue that consciousness is deeply embodied, that it arises not just from computation, but from being a living organism embedded in a world. If that's true, then no matter how advanced AI becomes, it may never truly feel. Or maybe we're asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, is AI conscious? We might ask, what physical processes give rise to experience at all? The AI debate forces us to confront the deepest mystery in philosophy. Why does any physical system, including our brains, produce subjective experience? Until we solve that, we can't fully answer whether machines can. Right now, AI systems are almost certainly not conscious in the way humans are. But technology evolves quickly. The line between simulation and experience may blur. And when it does, we will face unprecedented moral decisions. Do we grant rights to machines? Do we design them to be incapable of suffering? Do we risk creating digital minds trapped in servitude? The future of AI isn't just a technological challenge. It's a philosophical one. And perhaps the deepest question of all is this: if we create minds, what responsibilities come with being their creators? Because the moment a machine truly wakes up, it won't just change technology. It will change what it means to be human. Thanks for watching. If this video made you pause, question, or see things differently, then it did its job. Feel free to explore more ideas here, and as always, keep thinking.